What is going on? We are back, baby. You see it. Monday is back with SKF Weekly. Woo woo! There it is. There it is, guys.
Let's go.
There it is. Let's go. Yes. Yes. Love that. I love that. Anyway, what's up, John? How you doing, brother?
In effect today, man. I'm good. Thanks for asking. I'm good. I'm chilling. Yes. Excited to be on today.
Yeah, I'm happy. This is a level of consistency that the fans have grown accustomed to, and you know we were together on Thursday, we're together on Monday. Let's go!
Yes. Finally putting it together.
Yeah, thank scheduling and thank the weather.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Anyway, brother, hope you're doing well as always. Listen, man, it's been a interesting week. Nothing too crazy, but you know, a lot of the FIBA stuff has been, you know, the practices are really kicking off, getting into gear. There's been a lot of Knick talk on the low. The Knicks have see, this is what I think is very interesting, John. Somehow, you know, the Knicks are like the butt of everybody's jokes. Every year it's always proving themselves, always the underdog. Yet they're on everybody's minds, even with FIBA. All they're doing is talking about Knick plays, bro.
Right. Listen,
always.
I mean, we got the players that a lot of teams are looking at right now because a lot of those players potentially up, you know, especially during halfway through the season. There are going to be some buyers out there, and we may ourselves be some buyers as well. So, you know, we always got to keep our eyes open to see what may be potentially out there for us to go grab. So it's a good thing. I actually am excited that the Knicks are in a position where some of their players are holding some value to other teams in the NBA. So that we're in good shape right now. It's a good place to be. Finally.
Yeah, it's about damn time. It's about damn time. I agree.
We have to remember those clear Anthony, you know, remember those
Clear Anthony early days?
Clear Anthony early days, like those, you know what I'm saying? Like that was a tough team to watch. So
that's a rough time right there. Man, thank goodness. Thank goodness we got what we got.
Lucky stars, I'm telling you,
100%, man. Damn, John took it back on us, man. Clear Anthony early days is rough.
Just man,
hide the women and children.
Who was our point guard at that time? Was it Douglas?
Or Tony Douglas? I think it was either Douglas or maybe it was Langston Galloway.
It could have been, it could have been Galloway.
Could have been Galloway.
It could have been Galloway. I'm telling you. Says a lot. We've grown.
It's rough. Yeah, man. It was some rough times. we withstood it all, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Anyway, I'm definitely thankful and happy for this Knick team. And I hope they continue to, you know, get better and grow as a unit and come together even throughout all the adversity that has popped up throughout the years. They still have, you know, stood strong for the most part, and they've never, you know, quit on each other, and they've never quit on Tom Thibodeau. So that's a good thing. As much as we want to get on all the things that happened, they're still a team that rocks together. So that's good. I'll take it.
Right. I'm with you there.
Yeah. And so I speaking of a team that plays together and stays together, I want to get into what I feel could be the most underrated point guard in the NBA, and that's Mr. Jalen Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson don't get me wrong. As I say that, he is starting to get some just due because I think he's exposing himself to the powers that be, the people that actually have a say in the NBA, the influencers that actually people follow, the Steve Kerrs of the world. You know, the other coaches are seeing him firsthand, seeing him in practice and seeing what he means. Because if I'm not mistaken, Jalen Brunson was on another USA team before. Like, I think maybe when he first came into the but I mean, he's a different player from then to now. I mean, forget about it. And I think that, you know, now it's starting to see he's getting high praise. he's getting high praise from a lot of different people around the league, especially Steve Kerr had some good words to say about him. And hold on one second, let me just see if I uh, fix that.
Okay,
I
I
think
see you.
I got a little.
You
Am I
solid. You
coming in
good.
okay?
You good.
Okay,
You
okay.
good.
All right,
You're
good. All
locked
right,
in.
all right. Sometimes the camera readjusts when you start moving back and forward. All right, so we good. Anyway, but yeah, I think Jalen Brunson has just been one of those guys that's still been kind of overlooked. If and he's starting to get his just due, but I think he should be an NBA All-Star this year, John. I think he not
Yeah.
only will he earn it, I think he's going to deserve it. But I just think that this is the year where you're going to start to see how big of an impact he provides an NBA team, not just the Knicks, because he probably did the same thing for Dallas, but because Luka was there, he was overlooked and you just didn't see it. But I really think that this is the year he's going to come into his own, and I think this is the year the New York Knicks become Jalen Brunson's team. What do you think about Jalen Brunson and him, establishing himself as the real leader, the true leader on this team?
Yeah, no, I'm digging what you're putting down. I mean, that's going to be our reality moving forward, and I think also Julius Randle has also acknowledged that as well. I mean, to
Mm-hmm.
some degree, he's acknowledged that Jalen Brunson has made his life easier as a Knick, and being a second tier scorer for this team, current team as we have constructed. I think there's nothing better than having Jalen Brunson be the face and sort of the leader on the team who can help motivate the young players, also captivate a New York style of play that we've been waiting for years. I mean, New York is synonymous to having solid point guard play, and now we have that again. I mean, the last
Right.
legitimate point guard you can point to was Stephon Marbury to a
Mm-hmm.
degree, where you
Mm-hmm.
would say he had the ability to be an all-star year in and year out. Now we have a Jalen Brunson who I think is going to take that throne. And he's really gonna excel in it, especially here in New York. He has the right temperament. He has the right, he's just the right fit. You know what I mean? The right mindset. And then they're surrounding him with guys that he is comfortable playing with, which is also gonna help
Right.
him, develop and become the leader that he wants to become. Because that's what they brought him here to do. They brought him here to be that leader. And I think also including his dad, Brunson, on the coaching staff, I think that also speaks volumes. So I think we're in a good shape, man. And I think we're going to be here for a long time. So we got to get used to being a winning caliber team. We can't take anything less. You know what I mean? Like if we ain't making playoffs, it's not a good look. You know what I mean? Like we really got to come into next season believing in this team that we have here today. So I'm in
Facts.
agreement with Steven Vargas, who's saying Knicks 50 win season is a minimum, right? It's got to be a
Mm.
minimum.
Mm. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, because that's very interesting. I see stuff floating. I see it floating. Last year we were jumping out the window. I don't
No,
know.
no, no. We were flipping it back.
Okay.
You remember we were
Yeah, yeah. That's a
the
fact.
year
That's a fact.
before we jumped out the window.
Oh man, we were out there. That's right. That's right. Yeah, so that's a good point. Yeah, we got to see what happens because it's definitely interesting. But I do think that behind Jalen Brunson, a lot of surprising good things can happen on this team. I think it's not so much necessarily about the fact that Josh Hart is here with them and Dante DiVincenzo, but it's the
Mhm.
type of players that they are. It's not about the fact that they have that camaraderie. It is what it is. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, they just it's the fact that they came from Villanova under Jay Wright. That is what's important. That is what's going to help this Nick
It's
team in the
good
long run. The
structure.
stuff that they learn, yes, the stuff that they learn together is what's going to be pivotal in how we see a difference out there on the court day in and day out. Listen, as Nick
Yeah.
fans, we've already seen that the Knicks something switched for the Knicks last year. Okay,
Mhm.
I mentioned it in the past. It wasn't early in the season when the Knicks went on that when Tom Thibodeau went to the 9-man rotation and they went on that little run and then lost and then it went on another run. It wasn't that. To me, and I said it multiple times, the switch was when they
Mm.
started winning games in the fourth quarter that they may have been losing or they couldn't hold on
Right.
to leads and they figured out ways to win. And that is where I go back to attributing the difference of Jalen Brunson being here on this New York Knicks team. Was he perfect at everything during that time? No. But you could see during that time he was learning how to close for the Knicks, John. He was willing to take the big shot, even if sometimes you're like, man, how can he miss that? Or even if it was free throws, like he's automatic with free throws. There was a game in the fourth quarter where he missed 2 clutch free throws, and he was kicking himself because we lost that game, and those free throws mattered. Right. I think we lost by like 3 or 4 points, but those free throws didn't matter. So, but the point is he's willing to step up and take that role on. He wants to be that guy. And I think that's great. As you already said, Julius Randle needs that. We may not have known that, but thanks to him doing that interview with Paul George, him expressing, him expressing what he's used to and what he's accustomed to and being honest and candid with us. Yeah, Jalen Brunson is definitely needed.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement with that. And also I'm liking the development of Quickly. You know what I mean? And I think both Quickly and DiVincenzo are gonna really rally with each other. And they both play physically on the defensive end. They're both good, solid rebounders. And if you have Josh Hart alongside them, if they continue to use Josh Hart off the bench, like that's a trio that should be, you know what I mean, formidable as a off the bench trio. And you can match them with pretty much anyone. And Hartenstein with his aggressiveness and his hustle is only going to make, whoever they place on that 4 spot, because they'll probably rotate that 4 spot, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really necessarily see us having a backup 4 like you would see in years past. You may have like a mix of, you may sometimes see Sims in the rotation, sometimes you won't, and you'll just see, a RJ Barrett, or you'll see, Randle play more minutes with the bench team. There'll be a mix of players in and out of that rotation. So I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised by seeing Mitch and Hartenstein together for stretches in the game, just to cover up some of that, give Julius Randle some rest, So I think this is sort of up Thibodeau's alley, where he likes to play a minimum amount of players. And I think you've given him a core group of players that he can work with. You may not have a stretch 4 or stretch 5 necessarily, but I think with the players that you got on the wings, I think they could take advantage of a lot of other teams, especially on the defensive end. They'll get out, get some rebounds, get some stops, and get on a fast break on the other side. And I think they're going to do well.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That makes a lot of sense to me. And shout out to the chat. Didn't forget about you guys. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in and showing love to the show. Please smash that like button. Support us as we continue to grow this show and our platform. Shout out to Walter Blackman. Appreciate you. Mega NYK Comega in the building. John Talento is here. Brooklyn Butch is in the building. Lion of Judah. Shalom, my brother. What's good? Brooklyn Butch, I said. Stephen Vargas, as John said. Coach Sire is in the building. Appreciate you. Knicks 100 is here. Billy Goat is in the building. Jay from PR. And thank you to anybody who's not in the chat but maybe watching wherever you are. Thank you guys for supporting the show. And shout out to Carlton Thomas, who just joined. Bless up, Knick family, to you as well, my brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. So I think what's very interesting too, and also shout out to Fabian Williams. I see you. What I think is interesting too, John, is if you look at Jalen Brunson's numbers. Now, I don't have them up for you guys, but let me see if I can find it. I had it 2 seconds. Let me see. Where is it? Oh, shoot. I closed the page by accident. It's okay. Well, anyway, the point was, if you just look at Jalen Brunson's progression last year and his points,
per game?
How he started with the Knicks. Yeah, per game, how he started with the Knicks, like the first 15 games, the next 15 games. By the time he got to the end of the season, you see that steady growth of points per game, and also his usage rate with the Knicks. You could already kind of see. You could see it. Like the only thing I feel bad about, I mean, obviously I feel bad that Jalen Brunson wasn't an all-star because I think he deserved it even at that point. But he got even better after the All-Star break. So I kind of wish he was able to Yeah, you know what I mean? I wish he was able to show some of that earlier, because he would 100% been a unanimous All-Star. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, there was some games right after the All-Star break where he really showed dominance, and he showed what sort of caliber of leader he's going to be in this league. And I think everybody really just took notice. They realized that he was that guy for that team, and because of the usage rate. I mean, you said it right there. It's like the usage rate went up, especially Thibodeau, utilizing him a lot more on ball. And just locking in. Offensively, he was really doing his thing. So I think you'll see more of that this coming year. He's going to be that guy. There's no question.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I'm just to give you guys an idea, and don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from these guys that I'm about to tell you, but I'm just saying, if you really think about it, I can't see Jalen Brunson not being in this mix. Like the top 10 point guards in the NBA in 2023, according to overall rankings, was number 10, De'Aaron Fox, 9, Darius Garland, 8, Jamal Murray, 7, Ja Morant, 6, Trae Young, Trae Young, that is, 5, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 4, Damian Lillard, 3, Kyrie Irving, 2, Steph Curry, and 1, Luka Doncic. Like, that's a tough top 10. And I can't say that Jalen Brunson should be ahead of a lot of those guys, but I kind of feel like, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like his impact and what he did for the New York Knicks is a little bit more valuable than Darius Garland and what he did for the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is my opinion. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player, but I just think Jalen Brunson meant a lot more to this New York Knicks team. I'm not going to say anything about De'Aaron Fox being number 10. De'Aaron Fox really helped carry that Sacramento team to some special stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
I think De'Aaron Fox should be a little higher, don't you think?
Yeah, I think he might be a little higher too, bro. And even the Jamal Murray thing. Technically, if we were just looking at the regular season, Jamal Murray probably should be number 10 in this mix. But
because the amount of games he played, right? Yeah, I got you. For the season, regular season.
When you get to the playoffs, that's a different story.
Nah, I got you there. Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah. But hey, man, listen, like I said, it's a tough list. And I as long as, if you tell me Jalen Brunson is not in that top 10, I'm not going to really argue too much. Like I said, the Darius Garland maybe is a little better, but whatever. But I think he should be number 11 at the very least, in my opinion. But whatever, it is what it is.
I think this year this year you'll see the swap. You see a swap happen, and if it's not with Darius Garland, it might be, with the young man who I was high on, Halliburton, because he's not gonna. I mean, he had a terrific season last year, especially the first half of the season, and he was that guy. Him and what's the other young man they got over there? Mathurin. Him and Mathurin really got busy. You know what I mean? And Mathurin had a really good season as well. So I think between the two of them, I don't necessarily see him taking the bulk of the shots. It looks like they're sort of also building around him. So I think he's going to be more of a facilitator this year than a scorer. But I could be wrong. But I think that's what his role is going to be more or less. So I see him taking a back seat and dropping down maybe to like 12 or something like that. But
agreed. I think that too, because Halliburton's moving up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. And another name, he's not going to probably leave the top 10, but I think he's going to come down is Kyrie Irving, because this list, a lot of it has to do with Kyrie Irving being the point guard of the Brooklyn Nets. Now he's a dual point guard on Dallas.
On the
Lucas,
so the West Side.
Yeah. So I could see his value coming down a little bit in that regard. And that's a really good call on Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton is going to be a young star in this league, and he's got some really nice numbers. So I could see him and Brunson fighting their way in there, but neck and neck. Because even in this article that I'm reading, the honorable mentions, and this is kind of why I don't like it. The honorable mentions are Chris Paul, right, because of his legendary status. But the second level of honorable mentions is Maxey, Smart, Brunson, Ball, Holiday, and Westbrook. And Halliburton.
Right.
I honestly don't like Halliburton or Brunson in that mix. I don't want them mentioned with those guys right now.
Right.
So, yeah. So, but yeah, I think that's interesting. And so I also like the fact that he Brunson was being interviewed again now that he's with the FIBA team, and he kind of regurgitated some of the stuff, but it doesn't change the fact that this is how he feels. Some of the stuff that he mentioned when he did his Nick interview, his welcoming when he was welcomed to the Garden, and he talked about being the underdog, always being too small, and in junior high school and high school, and
Yeah.
always having to fight. And he brought it up again because that's who he is. That's his makeup, and that's what makes him who he is. That's why he is such like. I wish he was taller,
Right.
but it's for selfish reasons. He doesn't need to be taller. He's fine just the way he is because he's a special player like that. But could you imagine if Jalen Brunson was like, instead of 6'1", he was 6'5" or 6'4"? The type of damage he'd be doing in this league. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man.
And he's doing damage now at his height and weight right now. I mean, he's a strong 6'1". You know what I mean? Like, he's a solid, fit. And he's just got the skill level. He's always in balance. You know what I mean? And I think that's what takes him apart. Like, he's shifty and he's always in balance. So, he can finish with contact. But I think he's gonna be solid, man. I think I'm not really concerned about this year. I mean, defensively, we would like to see a little bit more. But he's undersized. He's not going to be everywhere. And I think that's where he'll lose a lot of his value is on the defensive side of the ball. I think coaches will devalue him on that end, not necessarily on his offensive skill, because he has what it takes to be an offensive scorer in this league. And if he can get his assist up, and his turnover rate, keeping that below 4, then we got something. You know what I mean? Like, he's definitely going to make an all-star team this year.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think so. I think we're heading in the right direction with this Knicks team and with him being here. Yeah, man, it's like it's great to have, because I feel like we haven't had. It's kind of crazy to say, knowing how good Julius Randle numbers have been. But I don't think we've had a player this good since Carmelo Anthony. So I definitely think Brunson is a difference maker that we've been yearning for. And shout out to Delano Steele Jr. in the chat for giving us the proverbial. We're gonna get this again, John. We're gonna get this for the rest of the season. Now that our guy is over here, for bringing up Mr. Frank Ntilikina. Now that he's in Charlotte, oh my God, we're gonna be hearing that name much more.
Let's see if he gets any nods to play during the regular season. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Don't be surprised if both. I wouldn't be surprised if both Randle and Brunson make the All-Star team this year.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I could definitely see Randle going back, because I think, Randle, the numbers he put up this past year, for the sake of maybe the points, because I think he was around 25 points per game. Yeah. That might drop down. It could drop down to 23, and he still could make the All-Star game with 23, 10, and 3 or 4. He could still make it.
Yeah, and I think he'll average the same amount of assists, if not more, because now you have an extra year playing together, which you build comfortability amongst the players that you've been playing with. So I just think I think overall his game is going to get better. You know what I mean? I think he's feeling a lot more comfortable and confident with being in New York, knowing that they want to keep him. You know what I mean? Like, they made the play. The play was to move Obi. He knows now he is the guy, and he solidified that spot. He don't have nobody looking over his shoulder. I really think he's going to play really relaxed, and he's going to put in maximum effort. He plays like he doesn't take time off, right? So he plays almost every game. If it's not a severe injury, you can expect him to be on the court game in and game out. And you can say the same for Brunson. And that's what I enjoy most, is like, I'm going to turn on the television and I know my number 1 and 2 guys are going to be there, and they're going to be, held responsible for taking us to a win or a loss, right? Like, those are the 2 guys that we're going to look for to make sure that they're the face of the conversation when it comes down to the end of games. Who can we rely on? If there's a missed shot or we lose a game, can we see Randle talking in the press conference? Are we going to see Brunson talking in the press conference? I think we will this year, because I think they understand that they're the leaders of this team. One leads by example, right? And one, you know what I mean, is more of a vocal, an example type leader. I think Brunson does both. I think Randall leads more by example on the court, some with his gameplay, not necessarily with his actions. Hopefully that starts to shift, a little bit better. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, the chat is going at it right now. I see y'all. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Sherwin is in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Good to see you. Kaiser Soze is in the building. Salute. What's good?
Salute to everybody on the chat, man.
Yeah, I see that Sherwin is Sherwin Sherwin is saying that I can't even read it. It's so funny. I mean, but look, in fairness to Sherwin, there's some truth to it. I'll explain it in a second. But you tripping a little bit. Shout out to infamous New King in the building. Sherwin said Randall is a better player than Carmelo Anthony ever was.
On this team?
I don't
on this team.
I don't know if he means in this team or career-wise. I don't know.
Not career-wise, but on this team.
Because Denver Carmelo was a monster, bro.
I think I would say Randall on this team is more important to the Knicks than Melo was. I mean, Melo just put jerseys on. He put seats. He put people in the seats, right? Because he was a star type player. You know what I mean? But his game was ineffective with the players they put around him. Outside of that first or second year that he had a 2-year run, you know what I mean? Outside of that, they really didn't build around him like they were supposed to. And then you start to see him diminish skill-wise. Like his explosiveness wasn't there, what it used to be when he was with Denver. And then you start to see him regress. But his jump shot was always, formidable. He can he could do everything. Randall for this team and what he's helped build is of more importance than it was when Melo was here. I would definitely say.
Right.
And a couple of more years of making all-star teams, you could definitely say that about Randall, putting up the numbers.
Yeah. Right. In the end, that's why I say in fairness. But I see what you're saying there too, Jay from PR. I see you.
Right.
Carmelo Anthony never had this type of supporting cast behind them with the Knicks. Like these, we got some good, pieces here with him. And Carmelo Anthony definitely didn't have a Jalen Brunson, but in the end, I think some people are gonna be very surprised. As far as a Knick career, I think Julius Randle may go down as having a better Knick career, or right there with Melo.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I mean, we look at Allen Houston is beloved as a Knick, right? But think about his career; it was short-ended, right? So.
Right.
Larry Johnson is beloved, and he was past his prime with the Knicks. So I definitely see when it's all said and done, Randall's going to definitely have a lot of numbers that can equate to like a Bernard King type, stat line. Like he legit does it year in and year out. 20, you can count him in for 20 plus points and 10 plus rebounds. You know what I mean? That's an automatic, right? And then you can go 4 to 5 assists a game. You know what I mean? So he's no slouch, and he plays every game. Like there's not a game that he doesn't commit to playing. He'll play injured.
Yep.
Like you gotta respect that. You gotta respect that, regardless of what people feel about his temperament and his actions on the court. Sometimes are a little bit foolish, but at the end of the day, he cares. He wants to be here, and those are the people those are the type of players that we want here in New York. The players that want to be here and want to prove everybody wrong, and that's the temperament of this team.
That's fair. But like I said, with the Knicks, Melo never had that type of supporting cast. He had some decent players historically, but they were kind of not washed, but they were at the tail end of their career by the time we got them as Knicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that one year, that first year with Stoudemire, man, we had a chance, man. It was just again, you don't know what happened, because the following year we get Tyson Chandler, right? And that if you stay healthy,
Who knows?
Who knows.
Who knows?
It was about staying healthy and and also playing for each other. I think there was a lot of, I don't know, there was a mixture of players in that time who were getting the bag and they were feeling themselves, and they may not have done everything for the team that they needed to do to keep everybody, or as comrades, you know what I mean? So sometimes that's a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, but anyway, for all the Knicks fans out there, Carmelo Anthony was a special player, regardless of what he dealt with or who he had on his squads. He was definitely a special player. But I will say, as much as I love him as a New York Knick, no, of course,
he still is. He still could give buckets if given a chance.
Oh yeah, of course. Like he could do it anytime he wants. But they just, he decided to retire because they're not showing him the love in the NBA. But he definitely could still get buckets. But Denver Melo, I don't care what you say. Denver Melo was a different beast, man. Different. So yeah, but that's crazy.
Also, anyway, the style of play too. We can't. It's something to be said about the style of play that Coach Carl, you know what I mean, used to run with Denver and their offense. That was sort of the focal point was Melo, but also they used him in multiple different ways, right? They used him a lot in the block. They used him in pick and pops. They schemed a lot around Melo. When he got to New York, the coaching wasn't there either. You know what I mean? And that's a part of the issue. It's like the coaching was never there. The front office wasn't there. And Melo was sort of given the pinnacle of success, right? He was given the opportunity to make it his home and to make it his team. But you need the support of your coaches and the support of your, front office to help bring the players that you need there to win. I mean, they had a shot, like I said, but it was short-lived.
True. And, the other thing is the style. When you started talking about style of play, you made me also think about the style of game changed while Melo was transitioning from Denver to New York. It started to become a lot more three-point heavy, which not that Melo can't shoot the three. We've all seen him get hot, and you know how he does. But as far as a two-point shooter, Melo is phenomenal. And that's why he was so special, because you couldn't guard him. He had too much strength for you to body him. And he put a hurting on you while he was scoring on you. So it was just, but that, I feel like he still did that type of stuff, but it took a little bit away from that type of game. In Denver, it was just on display. And he was even, at that time, he had hops too. He was dunking on you. It was crazy. Yeah.
Never motivated on the defensive end.
Never ever. But at least someone taught him defense. Okay. At least he never said no one ever taught him defense.
Well, listen, he didn't have
wherever you are.
Yeah, exactly. He was never. who did I hear talk about D'Antoni? Who was that? It was somebody. Was it Al Harrington? When his short stint with the Knicks.
It could have been.
He was on. He was on some podcast or something talking about how him and another player had went to D'Antoni and was like, "Yo, we got to learn some defense. Like, we got to practice some defense. Like, like no one knows what they're doing." And it was hilarious. It was
Knicks 100 said it was Harrington.
It was, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, that shit had me rolling. I was like, I can't believe that dude did that. Like, how you're a professional coach in the NBA and you don't even go over any type of defense. You just focus. And then he complained about, or he argued that the reason why they weren't winning is because they wouldn't put enough points on the board. It's like, what? That's crazy. You got to get some stops.
I mean, listen, that's the reason why. I mean, yeah, that's it. That's the reason why D'Antoni's teams never could really, get over that hump. They were good enough to get there, but once they got there, they wasn't good enough to lock anybody down. Man, you can't win if you don't get the stops.
And what's even more crazy is he got multiple opportunities to continue to coach in the NBA, bro.
It's unbelievable, bro. And then, we talked about, I mean, you saw, I think I put it in our group chat one time. Now, I don't know if D'Antoni was there at that point, but you see some of the squads Phoenix had. Those squads were crazy, bro.
Yeah. They had they had some athleticism, I'll tell you that.
What? Yeah, come on, man. It's crazy. Anyway. Yeah, so I think in the end, a lot of answers to questions that we've had that we didn't even know we were thinking about will be answered this year. One, I think for some people who aren't ready to face it, I think this year you'll start to really see that this is Jalen Brunson's team. Like he's the leader. Like he'll be taking control of the team in that regard. Not that it's going to be pushing Julius to the side, but I think you're just going to see the difference, and it'll be more comfortable transition this year, because last year was the feeling out year. We're past that.
Right.
And I also think that now the only thing I want to see is if the Knicks can coexist as a team and there's no dissension amongst the ranks. Because, I mean, say what you will, there is 3 Villanova cats on the same team now. And they're pretty cool with each other. I don't think it should be an issue, especially with the Knicks, but you never know.
Yeah. I don't even see that as because DiVincenzo is a willing passer. That's the interesting part. He's more of a point guard than he is like some people say he's more of a shooting guard. I think he has a skill level to be both. You know what I mean? And I think the way Quickly has matured in this game, he has the ability to do both. So them two are going to coexist evenly. Like they're not going to. Then there's going to be enough basketballs to go around, especially because Josh Hart, if they keep him on the bench, he's a player who doesn't need the ball. He's the type of player who don't need the ball to get involved, right? And so now whomever you continue to hold in the game, whether it be Barrett or whether it be Grimes or whether it be Julius Randle, whomever you may keep in that role as an additional fifth player on that squad, because Hartenstein is that player off the bench as well. They're gonna be good. They're gonna be good. And I don't see any of that I don't think anybody's gonna come to a head when it comes to the team that they've developed right now. I think they're just gonna get better as the year goes on. And I think it's gonna happen a little quicker than people expect it to. Because I think after FIBA, I'm almost sure they're gonna get some runs with each other, and then they're just gonna get really comfortable playing with each other. And I think we're gonna hit the ground running, man. I think we're gonna catch a lot of teams early on, because one thing that Coach Tibbs teams do well is win games in the regular season, right? And I think we're going to come out and we're going to be one of those top tier teams the first half of the season, because we're going to win games when teams aren't prepared, like we're prepared. So,
speaking of winning games in the regular season and us being more prepared to do so, are you saying, John, that you think the Knicks might be able to hit that 50 burger? What are you saying, baby?
I'm saying,
put it
listen,
out there, baby.
I could see it. I could see us 50. I could see us up there. What we won last year? 45? What we
47,
got?
47.
47. That's 3 games away. I think this team is better than last year's team. Even with like moving on from Toppin, I still think we're better. Because I think at that point it was just a bottleneck at the 4 position, and you were almost forced to play him because he's a high draft pick. He was a first round draft pick number 8. Like, you were forced to give him minutes, even if you didn't want to give him minutes. And I don't think Coach Tibbs wanted to give him any minutes. You know what I mean? I think he deserved minutes. I just don't think that Tibbs was comfortable playing more than 8 to 9 guys, and he was forced to play 10 at some points of last season, right? So I just think you're going to see a more consolidated team, and then players will play as if someone gets injured. You know what I mean? Outside of that, if you don't see any injuries, you're going to have the same 7 to 8 man rotations, game in and game out. And you're going to see 40-plus minutes for Julius Randle, 40-plus for R.J. Barrett if he got it going, or Hart. Or, Jalen Brunson is definitely going to hit 40-plus. So that's just what we're going to see.
Well, I can't disagree with you, man. I don't know, man. I think you know what it is? Now it's so much easier for us to jump out the window with the 50 burger. Last year, we were all kind of – because there was some 50 burger
skeptical.
Talk, even though
but it was skeptical.
Yeah, it was skeptical, though. But now that we're like, yo, throughout all this stuff that happened last year, the Knicks won 47 games. Yeah, they could get 50. You mean the first part of the season they were struggling. Tibbs was on the hot seat. But, everybody's like, yeah, they could definitely get 50. I see it. So I think we can get 50. I think that's gonna. I don't know what my actual prediction is yet, what the actual number will be, but I'm saying we can get 50. I might be going out there on a 51, 52. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I might be right there with you. I mean, I'll be modest and say 50, but I think we're capable of getting 52 for sure, especially the way that this season is going to start for us. I think everyone, barring injury, let's say I'm gonna say that that's the caveat for me is barring any injuries to start the season. I think we'll be somewhere near around 50, 52 wins this year. You know what I mean? And I'm not mad at you, Infamous King, for calling 53.
Yeah, he says 53.
I ain't mad at you.
Okay.
I ain't mad at you, bro.
I like it. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, John Talento, he says a full year with Hart, now maybe 50. Okay. DJ Space Ghost in the building, salute. Yeah, look the 50s. See, the now it don't seem so crazy though, because we got something to work off of. So that's why it's good, to wait and see what we're actually dealing with. I think these Knicks is all right, man. There's no more. These ain't the like John mentioned. These ain't the
Anthony Early.
Knicks. Yeah.
This ain't Galloway.
Langston Galloway. These ain't those Knicks.
So. It's not those Knicks, man. But then midway through the season, you may even run into potential trade talks, depending on if a team feels like they're out of it or out of the mix, and they want to unload a player or two. Depending on which team it is, we may be in for an opportunity to pull somebody in, and so that's the reason why I'm not too quick on trying to move, IQ. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's value out there for him. And if you could hold on to him, even though he's probably asking for a bag coming up, but there's value in trading a player like that who has so much upside. So, we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree. Kaiser Soze says he's counting on the Grimes growth and RJ being motivated early to get us to 50. I mean, listen.
RJ put on some muscle, bro. You seen him? He over there looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It ain't gonna help his jump shot, but
I don't know, bro. I don't know what he's gonna do about that. I mean, it's definitely going. One thing I'm gonna tell you for certain: RJ is going to get to the rim. He was getting to the rim anyway. He's definitely going to get to the rim, but I don't know about the rest of his game.
Yeah. I don't know about the rest anything. I'm not too sure if any of that other stuff changes, but the boy put on some pounds, man.
I mean, listen. I kept thinking that he needs to slim down a little bit, get a little bit more lean to help with his quickness. Maybe they go
like that ain't working for me.
Yeah. Maybe
probably was like that ain't working
the
for me.
Off-season program. It's not going to work for me. So I do see he was working on his mid-range. I hope he's seriously working on it, because that could be the key. And I like that little drill that we saw him and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander running in Team Canada, the 2-point shot, then the 3-point shot, then going back and forth. That's good. Keep the competition going.
Get the reps up. Yeah, get the reps up.
Yeah, anything that can help him get his reps up, I'm 100% behind, bro.
Yeah, he's also he generally took this offseason and started working with that NBA coach that everyone talks about. Is the guy who worked with Tatum and who else?
Drew Hanlon.
Yeah. So hopefully that continues to work.
What? You reminded me of something, John, because I got to check out. I don't usually do this, but I will. Shout out to Big Nick Energy on Twitter, because apparently they're interviewing Drew Hanlon at 11 p.m. tonight. So
that's what's up. I got to put that on.
Check that out and see what he has to say about
facts.
About RJ and stuff, and we'll see. And shout out to Craig in the building. Where you been, man? I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope everything's good on your end. Good to see you in the chat, brother. He said RJ is going to be even slower now. There's a chance that that's the truth.
But he looks even stronger, so maybe he can push him, get a little bit more aggressive, and get some calls on the offensive side. Get some and ones. Hopefully he can finish at the rim. I'm more concerned about him finishing in the rim and shooting that mid-range than, you know what I mean? If he can get consistent doing that, I don't think speed even matters at that point.
Right. That's fair. I'm with you on that. That makes sense. I don't know, Craig. Let me see. I'll check. Let me see if they put a link out there, and if I see it, I'll grab it and I'll put it in the chat so that other people can also tune into that. Look, found it. Hey,
Look at
all right.
that. See what we do? Still Knicks fans.
See what happens. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm gonna put this in the chat for y'all right now. So if y'all want to check this out, apparently, the time though on this is kind of weird. It says today is the 7th. Oh, it's weird. I don't know. It says it premieres in 8 hours, August 8th at 7 a.m. So I think they're interviewing him tonight
And
at
then
11
they air it in the morning.
but they're gonna air it in the morning or whatever. So we'll
sense.
just catch it throughout the day. So sorry about that, guys, but whatever. Here's the link anyway.
Yeah.
So you guys can have it. There you go. Let me just write Big Nick Energy interview with Drew Hanlon. You know when you're typing something out, you think you're typing everything great and it looks horrible? Like, what? Big Energy B in here. I'm like, what the hell did I just do there? It sounds good in my head. Okay. I'll put the link again because I hate when you have to put them together. There you go. Boom. All right. So there you go. Anyway, all right. So back to the mix and the Knicks. I think, 50 burger. I think we kind of might be in agreement unless something crazy happens because I want to give myself the out. If something wild happens and
you can't do that.
No, because that's not
the
right.
caveat is the injury. The caveat is the injuries. If we stay healthy,
okay, good.
We're good.
All right.
But don't be taking it out like, yo, if Randall blows things up and RJ can't hit threes consistent, I don't want to hear all that. Like, we going for it.
No. If everybody's there and primarily healthy, and I say primarily healthy, like nobody, misses more than 12 games.
Right.
And I'm okay with it. I believe in it. Yeah. I'm
12
okay
games. That's Mitch easy.
I know that's Mitch
easy.
Lock it
bro.
down.
Come on. he's the player you got to put in a time constraint in time management. It's him. It's Mitch, bro. Because Mitch get injured easy.
So here, speaking of other players on the team, if you look at last year's season, right? The most surprising player to me numbers wise is Quentin Grimes. Because watching Quentin Grimes play basketball, you see he gets hot. You've seen him have some moments, blah, blah, blah. He makes some nice plays, plays some good defense. But as far as his offensive numbers, you wouldn't really know that he had a really good offensive season for the time he played. His shooting percentage was high, 47. His three-point percentage was around 38, 39 almost. And he shot 80% from the free throw line. So he actually had a really decent
Grimes
season. Yeah, yes, you heard me.
He shot what? From the free throw? There's no way.
80%. Yeah, and that's what I said, John. I was doing Know the Ledge, and I looked at the numbers, and I said, oh, my God, are you serious? Last year, he shot 68% from the free throw line. This year, 79.6. 80%, bro.
Nah, bro.
I know. That's what I said. I couldn't believe
there's somebody in the Knicks organization skewing those numbers, bro. They got themselves into the NBA.com and started skewing numbers. There's no way.
That's with false pandemic numbers. I don't know.
Yo, no way was he that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I don't know, but listen, that's surprising. But so if Grimes can work on his game and take his game to the next level, be a little bit more consistent with what he's got going on, right? If Emmanuel Quickley can be more consistent, because if you look at Emmanuel Quickley's numbers, his numbers were similar to Grimes's as well. But a lot of people forget, and he finished averaging 14.9 points per game, almost 15 points per game. Well, people forgot
his free throws were down this year, though.
Yes, they were. He still shot 81% though.
Which is not,
but that's not Quickley. Like Quickley was up there around
90. He was up by 90.
Yeah. But oddly enough, people forget that Quickley had a bad first 2 months of the season. So if he could just, the first month and a half, I'm not going to say 2 months fully, a month and a half were pretty damn bad for Emmanuel Quickley. He couldn't get his shot together. So, and his shot was drifting a little bit. But if he can come out and just have that stuff under control, that's going to be an impact for the team. That'll be different. The addition of DiVincenzo, and if he just plays like what that's going to be good. Josh Hart
got
for a
another
full
ball
season.
handler. Yeah.
And Josh Hart for a full season. That's
Right.
going to be good. So,
Right.
yeah, these Knicks are in really good position to do some special things next year. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
Shout out to Dripmore in the building. The preferred barber of still Knicks fans and the Knicks community is in the building. Let's go. What's going on,
Yeah.
Dripmore? And congratulations. Dripmore mentioned this weekend on Know the Ledge that his son is graduating. So shout out to him.
Congratulations.
Good for you, bro. Good for you and the son. Yeah, man. So I definitely think the Knicks can do some special things. I think it's going to be a fun time for us. And I think finally, we'll start to see some of the naysayers start to change over. Some of the haters are going to start to fall in line because now this will be 2 seasons in a row of, I think, the Knicks playing good basketball.
Right. Yeah.
So true. Let me see. Someone said something that I saw that.
I'm going to the chat.
Yep, I saw it. Kaiser Soze said, and that's why when you brought it up, I thought this was interesting. You were talking about Mitchell Robinson. Kaiser Soze said he wants to load manage Brunson, which I think is interesting.
I would manage. I mean, if I was running the team, I think most NBA coaches would manage the amount of minutes that you're giving to your star players because you want them, like he said, want them healthy and ready to go and in good strength during playoffs time, and you want them 100%. But that's never going to be Tibbs. We already have 4 seasons with Tibbs already. We know what he does to his players. We know how he maximizes them for the regular season. And I mean, his whole coaching, style and, is all about the regular season play and about getting to the best point you can get. You know what I mean? Like he always talks about making sure you play every game to the best of your abilities and never take any minute off. And, he wants to ride the wave of wins, going into the playoffs. So his concern is mostly about winning games and being consistent, less about, load managing of the players. So we're not going to get that. Right. On the other hand, I'm in agreement with you. I would like to sort of hold them to a limit during the regular season, but that's not what we're going to see.
Yeah, not yeah. The way Tibbs moves, I'm not confident in seeing.
I don't see that
him changing. What they say, a leopard don't change their stripes or something like that. I don't.
Right.
I don't. Yeah, I don't necessarily see Tibbs kind of falling in line with that. Interesting. Guys are talking about. Steven Vargas mentioned, would you insert IQ as a starter on any NBA team right now? And I know that some people may say no, or they may not look at IQ necessarily as a starter. But I have an incredible example for you guys. And this is an example of a lot of NBA players in the league who play on teams with other star players.
Right.
Mikal Bridges. You guys remember Mikal Bridges with Phoenix and his numbers in Phoenix offensively and how they looked? Not the greatest. But then you take Mikal Bridges and you put him on a Brooklyn Net team where he's not behind anybody and he's the guy and they're feeding him. They're running the offense through him. And then you look at Mikal Bridges putting up 20 plus points, 30 plus points, going crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, it depends on the situation. So don't be surprised. Like, IQ may not look like the bona fide starter here on this current Knicks team. But if the Knicks team was constructed differently, or you send them to a different team where they don't have as many, lead options as the Knicks might have.
Or ball handlers.
Or ball handlers, right. You might see quickly get busy. Just saying.
Like, who's the point guard for the Minnesota Timberwolves? Because I know they don't, I don't
know who it is. Who is it now? I don't know.
That would be a team that I would look at if there was a potential move. I would see, I wouldn't want anybody from that squad necessarily outside of Edwards, but
I mean,
you know what I mean?
No, well, I would. I like that rookie. Well, what's it? Marshall? What the hell's his name? Crap. Now I forgot. He's the rookie that was incredible on defense and was starting to come into his own offensively, and then he decided to pull a Mari Stoudemire. He punched the wall or something, broke his hand in the playoffs.
Oh, I don't remember his name. I know you're talking about that.
That kid is special.
Yeah.
He might be but they ain't giving him
like
up.
if they were looking for a secondary ball handler, I could see like the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm not really sure who's over there though.
Mike Conley Jr.
Yeah, see, like I could. If Mike Conley's the only secondary guard over there, because I know Anthony Edwards is going to be, he's going to have the bulk of the minutes, handing the rock. But you know what I mean.
And Jordan McLaughlin.
Yeah, see, I could see quickly could get a starting role there. I gave you one.
Possibly
I gave you one. I can see him starting over there. I gave you one.
You did. I can see that. I can see that because Conley's definitely an aging.
He's a
veteran over there.
Yeah. He's not defensive. He's not going to give you this type of energy defensively that quickly could give you. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even know. I don't even pay attention too much to Minnesota's team.
Ding, 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 ding.
Probably because
I gave you one.
Yeah, look at you. Look at you. Because I don't like that guy. Rudy Yogurt, Yobert, Bumbear, whatever he is. I don't like that guy. Okay. Anyway, shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for always giving us the information that allows the show to keep going. You definitely spur good conversation. Keep doing what you guys do and supporting the show. Hit that like button. Shout out to Julian Blum is in the building. I see you. What's good, brother? Always good. Billy Goat, thank you for telling people to smash that like button. Building blocks in the building. Salute. Yeah, man. I think that the things are gonna be pretty interesting. Chef NYK is here as well. Salute. I think we're gonna have a fun season, and I can't wait because really, basketball is right around the corner. These FIBA games is gonna start up soon.
Wasn't there a game NBA recently? Training. There was a game.
Yeah. Well, the Knicks team, the USA team is gonna play.
Okay, I see you. You call it right. That Knicks team.
We got like 3 of them on there, man. No, I think we're gonna play. Is it next week?
But there was a game yesterday, right?
Yeah, I think there was.
I think China played. China played because it was what's his name? Anderson played, and they lost to. Who did they lose to? Did they play a European team yesterday?
Oh, I think Building Block said France.
They did. Okay, so they beat. France won. Okay.
Because I think there's a game that's supposed to come on actually in a little bit. I don't know who it is. I don't know if I forgot. We went over the FIBA schedule and I already lost it. I forgot what it was. But it is what it is. Today's it is tonight. USA versus Puerto Rico.
Let's go. I didn't even know that was on the schedule.
Yeah, they're playing in Vegas. So
at what time? 11
now. Either it's on now or it starts very soon.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna close out the show. Thank you all for tuning in. And
no, but we are. Might as well go see if we can watch it. Yeah, man. But hey, thank you guys for being here and always supporting the show. As I said,
what channel?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to find it myself. Let me try to do that. Let me do that for everybody. See if I can find what it is.
PR, they played already. PR up 8-6. Let's go, PR. No.
Oh boy. What channel? This sounds like it might be on ESPN. No,
it might be,
or maybe NBA TV. Let's check. Let's check for the people out there in the expensive seats.
All right, if you guys are watching, what channel? Oh, FS1. There you go, FS1.
Really, FS1? Uh-oh. This might be another one of those upsetting moments for Ron and his stupid FUBU TV. I don't know if I got FS1.
See,
Yeah.
Fox Sports, FS1. There it goes.
I hope I got it. Oh, look at this. Ron's got it. Let's go.
Woo!
All right.
Wait,
Yes,
where's the horn?
FS1, folks.
Let's go.
All right. So, yeah, they're playing right now, guys. So, yeah, let's wrap up the show.
Uh-huh.
Final words, John?
As always, man, this was a great show. I appreciate you for having me on. Peace and blessings, everybody. Stay safe. And yeah, man, catch you guys on the next one. 3 fingers to the sky. I'm out.
There you go. All right, guys. You know what I like to say. Tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still, Knicks fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on Monday nights, 9 p.m.-ish for SKF Weekly with Ron and John. You know how we do. Or Thursday nights for the new NBA wrap-up at 8:30. Please tune in this Thursday, guys. Hoping to have another good show for you guys. It's a new look, new style of content. But same old good quality talk between myself and John. And we'll also be having special guests. So definitely tune into the show. I think you guys will like it. And not to be outdone, we also got Know the Ledge on Saturday with yours truly at 11:30-ish. So please tune into all the shows we got going on. Smash that like button, support. Tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend, and keep showing love to us, man. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your night, and enjoy, if you have it, USA versus Puerto Rico on right now. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Freedom over fame. Freedom over cycle stays the same.